Kelsea and I work with Musenberg. So a few weeks ago, I was walking back with some of my students. We had just come back from Coke Bay and we were doing a treasure hunt. And as I was walking back, I saw one of the ladies who I talk to a lot, who lives on the street. And I saw her and I just wanted to say like, hey, how's it going? A few of us walked up to her and she just looks at us and she looked in a lot of pain, and so I asked her what was going on, and she actually was in labor. So I, of course, normal response, freaked out and was like trying to keep calm on the outside, but on the inside I was panicking. And so I just started asking her some basic questions like, how long have you been in labor? How far apart are your contractions? Who's going to take you to the hospital? Are you ready to go to the hospital? Do you need money to go to the hospital? And she just burst into tears and just started telling me about how she was terrified and how they were going to take her baby and just how she wasn't ready to go, and just started talking and just crying and weeping. And so I'm not a very empathetic person. It's not one of my natural giftings. My response to tears is usually to kind of like freak out and awkwardly put a hand on her shoulder and just walk away. But I just knew the Holy Spirit just had so much importance for this moment, and that birth was going to be such a beautiful thing, and that this baby that was being brought into the world was so important and valuable. And so instead of just freaking out and running away, I just started comforting her, and started praying over her, and just declaring who she was, and that she was strong, and that she could do this. And the Holy Spirit started teaching me breathing exercises and just how to kind of comfort this woman in this crazy season. And then as she started getting closer and closer and closer, and as her contractions were a minute apart, about 3 minutes apart actually, she finally allowed us to call the ambulance. We're talking to a few South Africans and they're saying there's no way the ambulance is going to come. There's no way it's going to come in time. We need to find someone else, we need to find someone else. And so I'm on the phone with a few South African friends like, can you take me to the hospital? And they're getting ready to come, and they're like, yeah, the ambulance is going to come in 5 minutes to take you guys. So we're just praying and praying that she doesn't have a baby right on the beach. And we're looking at the supplies we have, and if they're, how this is even going to happen. And I'm thinking in my head, I know she has to go with the baby. And I have no idea if the prayer we've been getting this question for years now. So I'm just asking the Holy Spirit to keep the baby in and all this stuff. And then this woman, I noticed her staring at us. She comes out of her car. She works at a nonprofit here in Cape Town and was willing actually to take the woman to the hospital. So the lady gets into the car. We're getting ready to say goodbye, and we see the ambulance come. She's like having her contractions a minute apart when the ambulance comes. It was a miracle. And then, the ambulance came and took her away, and we found out a few days later that if she wouldn't have gotten in the ambulance when she did, that the baby actually would have died because the baby was breached. And so they actually had to do an emergency C-section, and that if we wouldn't have called the ambulance and if the ambulance wouldn't have come, that probably both her and the baby actually wouldn't have made it. And so it was just such a crazy story that we were looking for treasures that day, and just me and my flesh wanted to say hi and then walk away, but the Holy Spirit just prompted me to love. And so through that obedience, there's two people who are alive today because of His grace, and because I don't know, simple obedience. And so that's just the crazy story of how God uses us here in such crazy ways.